U.S. stocks are down today on news that the coronavirus is continuing to spread. We can't get this virus down, and stocks are down because of that. So joining me is Matt Cheslock to really weigh in on this. Before we went on, I was like, Matt, are stocks down because of this virus? And he said, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we had some earnings today that obviously provided a bit of a backdrop for a sell-off, but to see what the Asian markets did last night, they were down over 2%. It's clearly an indication of the sell-off that we're seeing today.
But there are some stocks that are, I guess, quarantined from the virus today. Boeing is actually up after the company said they won't cut their dividend. Matt, your viewers are asking, what are the thoughts on the floor about Boeing?
You know, what's interesting is yesterday you had, an analyst just throw in the towel. I think that was the words he used on Boeing. As a trader, I think those are the kind of words you like to hear. You kind of like to hear that maybe the bottom has been put in. Boeing has a lot of issues to work through with the 737 MAX. There's no doubt about it. They have some confidence issues in the CEO. He's been on board this whole time. So there are questions about what management is. So we have to find out if this is more than just a bit of a relief rally because they didn't cut the dividend. There's going to be probably a lot of questions out there. Should they have cut the dividend? Should they just take the pain now as opposed to keep putting this off? So but these are the type of situations as a trader you want to look for. You want to look for a bottom to come in here. Yesterday it broke through some support levels at like 307. It ticked down to about 300. Today we're seeing it bounce back significantly after yesterday's bounce back off the lows. So those are some kind of good signs technically. Boeing has a lot to work through, but in the near term, maybe we found a bottom, in that case.
So Matt, next week, some of your favorites are reporting. We have Amazon, we have Microsoft. You've repeatedly talked about these stocks. What's going to happen when those companies start going after each other? Because right now we have Amazon and Microsoft duking it out for whoever gets their cloud deal at the Pentagon. So could they eventually just take each other down and the FANG will implode?
I mean, certainly those are the only ones that really can take each other down, right? The Microsofts, the Apples, the Amazons, Facebooks. These companies are just massive market caps, but they are going to be battling for almost every contract that's out there. I mean, they are best in breed, right? So you are going to see them fight. Is it going to become that kind of dog eat dog? I mean, listen, Amazon, they were one of the first ones to really say, the Amazon was the cloud. I mean, they were the first ones to embrace it, to really move toward it, and you saw some others follow suit. So I'm not going to say that that they shouldn't be there. I mean, obviously it's done a great business for them. It's been great for Microsoft, Google, Apple, all the big ones, and you can see it in their market caps and the belief that the stockholders have in them and portfolio managers. They're all buying these companies for a reason. A lot of it is based on the cloud.
Sure, it's definitely a profitable endeavor. Now, also next week, Caterpillar decided to release earnings on a Friday. Now, I know that this is kind of like a trick in the book where they used to release later after an impactful week. We have a lot of economic data. We have the FANG stocks reporting. And now Caterpillar kind of sneaks in on a Friday to report their earnings. Do you think they're going to be hiding something?
What's funny is that normally if you're going to do that, you don't tell anyone. You release them Friday afternoon, and that's the total surprise, and it kind of gets washed out by the end of the week. They're coming out and saying that we are going to do it on this date. I would hope that there's no major surprises in that case. You have time, you have ample opportunity right now to give the street a little bit of a heads up and not just say, well, we're going to release these later. Yes. So I'm hoping Caterpillar is experienced enough. I would think that they're a brand name, a quality company. They know what they're doing.
All right, amen to that. There's a lot to look out for next week. That is Matt Cheslock from Virtu Financial here at the New York Stock Exchange.